No matter how far along we are on our journey to become more stylish men, it ends up happening to us all at some point. We have a special occasion that comes up that we haven't really gone to before and we're not exactly sure how to dress for it. Well, you've come to the right place because I have about 10 different occasions that I'm gonna try and share with you how I would dress for those occasions. But before we get started, go ahead and like this video, and if you happen to be interested in men's fashion, lifestyle, health, fitness, coffee, anything like that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Speaking of coffee, why not start with the good old classic coffee date? Now, when I usually think of coffee shops, I immediately think of warm, cozy, casual, yet sophisticated vibes. So you'd usually want to wear warmer colors or even just earth tones for this. So more specifically, colors like brown, beige, orange, yellow, green, white. If it's warm enough to wear a sweater, do that. Sweaters are always my go-to item when it comes to going to a coffee shop. So the three types of sweaters I'd recommend wearing is a cardigan paired with a white t-shirt, a cable knit sweater, or even a quarter zip sweater. Pair that with some light blue jeans or even chinos, a watch, and maybe a few rings. It's as easy as that. Next up, we have the job interview. For this, you can go with a classic button-up dress shirt or even a polo tucked in with some trousers. I'd recommend just playing it safe, going with a solid colored shirt, whatever color you want as long as it's not bright and bold. And for your pants, just go with black, gray, or navy. Even if you don't necessarily need it, you're gonna want to add a belt to look more professional. For shoes, I'd recommend going with some Oxfords or at the bare minimum, these loafer sneakers. And to finish it off, just add a watch, but I wouldn't recommend adding any other jewelry. And yes, even if you're applying at a Wendy's or McDonald's, if you really want the job, you're gonna want to look as professional as possible. So for that reason, I'd recommend wearing all of these items. And next up, we have the classic fancy dinner date. Now for this, I'd recommend sticking to darker colors. Now that doesn't mean you can only wear black, gray, or navy. If you want to wear some other colors, I'd recommend burgundy or brown. Again, I'd recommend wearing a long sleeve button up. If it's a warmer night, I'd recommend getting these in linen, but if it's a little colder out, I'd recommend getting an overcoat to throw on top. Then you want to make sure that you're keeping it classy and wear some trousers, add a watch, maybe 1 to 2 necklaces. And when it comes to shoes, I'd recommend Oxfords, loafers, dress boots, or if it's not too fancy of a place, say you're going to Olive Garden, white sneakers will do. But I'm not talking about just Vans. Get yourself some high quality white leather sneakers. When dressed up properly, these can look a lot more classy and upscale compared to your standard canvas Vans. And next, it is wedding season, so you're probably going to be going to a cocktail party or just something that requires cocktail attire. Now, try to think of cocktail attire more as semi-formal, so it's right in between casual and super formal like black tie. You don't want to underdress for this occasion, but you also don't want to overdress. For this, I'd recommend having some fun wearing colors. Just wear any color other than black. Now, when it comes to choosing colors, you can wear really whatever color you want. Just make sure it's not too bold or bright unless the dress code says otherwise. So I'd say to wear a button-up dress shirt, some suit pants, a sport coat or blazer. A tie is completely optional. Now, when it comes to choosing a sport coat or a blazer, I'd recommend going with solid colors or something with subtle patterns, nothing too bold that'll make you stand out too much. And now we have the good old sporting event. Now, in these stadiums and arenas, the seats are usually pretty tight. So you're gonna be like shoulder to shoulder with other people that you're sitting next to. For that reason, you're gonna want to avoid anything puffy or bulky. You wanna keep it thin, lightweight, and breathable, and just keep it casual. So I'd recommend wearing like an oversized tee, a linen button-up, paired with some cargo pants or shorts. Now, if you absolutely have to wear something to keep you warm, I'd recommend just wearing a crew neck sweater or even a thin bomber jacket. When it comes to shoes, it's completely up to you, but keep in mind, sporting events are a big part of sneaker culture. So I'd recommend just having fun with it. Wear some cool sneakers, match the color of your sneakers to your outfit, and you're set. And next, we have the funeral. First off, I just want to say, if this applies to you, I'm sorry for your loss. This is a tough one because it can be celebrated differently all around the world. Not many people talk about this. I didn't even know how to dress for it for the longest time. Now, if it's a celebration of life, most of the time, color and casual wear is encouraged. But on the other hand, if it's your standard funeral, I just recommend wearing all black for this. Now, you do want to dress up for this to show that you respect the person that passed and their family. You want to wear a black dress shirt, trousers, and coat. For shoes, just wear Oxfords or derbies. For accessories, I'd recommend not wearing any jewelry. You want to avoid being as flashy as possible. And next, we have the beach date. If you don't happen to live by a beach, maybe it's a lake date. You're gonna want to avoid sweating as much as possible. And if you're like me, you sweat very easily. So doing whatever you can to help minimize sweat will be the best. I'd recommend wearing linen everything. So for your shirt, get yourself a linen camp color shirt. Most of the time, these come with really fun colors, patterns, and designs. You wanna make sure that your shorts are made of linen as well. And if you don't like wearing shorts, they do make linen pants as well. Avoid wearing sneakers because you don't want them to get covered in the sand. So just go with some sandals such as Birkenstocks. If Birkenstocks are a little too pricey for you, Target sells a cheaper alternative. Match the beach vibes with a pearl necklace. However, most men aren't into pearl necklaces, so if that's the case, you could just wear a silver bracelet and some necklaces. Now, the club. I remember the first time I went to a club, I was absolutely not expecting it to be as crowded and hot as it was. Within a few minutes, I was just completely drenched in sweat, so from then on, I just remembered to always keep it lightweight and breathable. Now, most guys usually just wear black. I'd recommend being different and actually wearing some color, because we don't want to fit in with the crowd. We don't want to be just like everyone else. Wear some colors, some patterns. Get yourself a linen cam collar or a knitted polo. I personally love knitted polos. They're breathable, they come in a lot of fun colors and patterns, and they add some nice texture to an outfit. Now, since it is so crowded in a club most of the time, your shoes are going to get stepped on, so I'd recommend just wearing some black Vans or Converse. If you want to take the risk, you can wear white sneakers. Like I said earlier, I think they look good with everything. It's just that they are going to get stepped on and they are gonna get dirty, so if you do wear white sneakers, just make sure it's a pair that you don't really care about. For accessories, you can wear a few necklaces, 1 to 2 rings, and a bracelet. Now, hanging out with friends. If your friends are anything like mine, we're all pretty spontaneous, so you may end up planning to do one thing, but at the end of the night, you're doing something completely different that you didn't expect. So you wanna play it safe, keep your outfit comfy, roomy, and casual. Depending on your preference, you can wear a regular fitted shirt, or if you're like me, you can wear an oversized tee with some sweat shorts. If you just wanna play it safe, just wear a regular fitted white t-shirt and throw a nice overshirt on top of it, because who knows, you might end up going somewhere that's a little fancy and you don't want to look like you just came off the streets. You don't want to look too casual, so at least you'll look somewhat decent. And lastly, we have the brunch date. Keep it casual, but make sure you wear some fun colors and patterns. My go-to is a long sleeve linen button up. Roll up the sleeves to show off those forearm muscles, or you can also go with a short sleeve camp collar. Abercrombie has a ton of these. Pair these with some chinos or linen pants, white leather sneakers, and for accessories, it's completely up to you. I'd personally just go with a watch and a necklace. And that concludes this video. That is 10 different occasions, 10 different outfits. I really hope that helped. I hope you now have a better understanding of what to wear to these special occasions. But let me know in the comments if I left any out, any occasions that you want to see in the next video. I've also linked most of the items that I showed in this video in my LTK shop, which is in the description. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok and Instagram at RealAbrahamCarella to keep up with what I'm doing outside of YouTube. I really appreciate you all for watching this all the way through. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. But that is all for today. So I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay stylish, team.